word networking just used to terrify me. So I just called it, in my head, I was like, I'm just going chatting. That's it. I'm just going chatting.
Hello and welcome to the Massage and Physical Therapist Roundtable talk show. In the last episode, we discussed our most valuable CPD training. So if you missed that one, do check it out as a source of inspiration for your next CPD workshops. In each episode, we'll pick a subject as chosen by you and discuss it from different perspectives within the therapy world. I'm your host, Kate Brown, and on our panel, we have Imogen Tester, massage therapist. We've got Claire King, massage and craniosacral therapist, Tamar Morsi, massage therapist, and Chris Haddon, massage therapist and reflexologist. And apologies from our other panelists, Anna Maria Mazzieri, who unfortunately can't make it today, but she's given me a couple of her thoughts about this subject to share on her behalf. So thank you, panel, for joining us again this morning. Today, we are talking about the power of networking and how you found networking during the COVID-19 pandemic, how it sort of brought together our community, and how it's led on to gaining new clients. So who'd like to kick us off today? Maybe we can start with Chris. You look raring to go.
I'm ready. I'm ready for you.
So if we start with what sort of networking looked like to you before the COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, surprisingly, I feel like I've got quite a lot to talk about with this, so I'll try and keep it. I'll try and not rub it on for too long. But
great.
Traditionally, I really couldn't stand networking, and I don't mean that in a way of meeting other therapists and stuff, you know, because that's great. But I mean, you know, going out and trying to poach work. I know obviously we need to because it's what we do and it's a job, you know, but I used to just hate having to try and sell myself, you know, because I always had the mentality that, you know, if you're good, word of mouth will just get round, you know, and one client will tell another and that just leads on to into working. But you know, in an ideal world that does work, and that's amazing, and to some extent that really does. But you do need to obviously network or market yourself to get new clients if you want to do it as a full-time business. Now I found that out basically because I applied for a friend told me to apply for this NatWest entrepreneur thing, and I was like, I don't know what that is, but yeah, okay, and I filled it all in, and I got picked for it, and it was like I was the only person there of this sort of field, you know. It was like a lot of it was like business owners and people setting up like digital marketing agencies and all this stuff. But they give us like a city centre office in Manchester for a year, and they give you like a mentor and they taught you about networking and how it's really, you know, how you need to do it basically to spread your net and find people, find clients. And that opened a big corporate door for me. So I got a lot of corporate clients through that, and you know, doing like massage and wellbeing in the workplace. And from that, I got loads of personal clients that were then coming to see me privately. And I had to go to loads of networking events because of it. And I'll be honest, I still don't like them. And I find them draining. I find them, you know, I can talk for England. I love chatting to people. But there's nothing more draining than sitting and trying and saying the same thing over and over to people. You know, you meet someone, oh, what do you do? And it's just this whole sort of same conversation over and over. So I'm still, as you can tell, I don't really like it. But that was something I did, and it was great. And I've done a lot of Zoom ones as well. Yeah,
we'll come back to Zoom in a minute. Actually, we'll kind of look at how things have changed since COVID has hit. But yeah, I'm actually in total agreement with you. I find networking quite uncomfortable, and I don't like to sell myself, and actually get very, very nervous standing in front of a room. I did a similar thing to you, as kind of trying to get corporate clients through going to networking groups. And I was terrified each time I'd stand up, and I could hear my heart in my ears, and I don't know what I said, and it was just terrifying. But I would get the odd corporate client, and that sort of made it worth it. But the whole experience I didn't find suitable.
Well, we were told to have a pitch, and we had to make like a 30-second pitch. And honestly, I remember my partner Sophie, I remember practicing it and reading it out to her the night before I had to go and do it. And I was like, it felt so cheesy and so like, do you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I can't be bothered with this, you know. I don't, you know. I mean, it's got a place and that, and obviously I did it, and it's, you know, and it's worked well, but I still don't like it.
So has anyone else been to these sort of networking groups?
Just me then.
Just
I've been to a couple of things that were a bit more kind of, well, obviously called networking, and they were very direct, and it was quite I guess it's salesy, isn't it? It's very kind of driven, it's very pushy, and it's fine if you like that, but then I kind of realized that wasn't me. But I decided this was pre-COVID-19, you know, when I was invited to a few of these things, because then the word networking just used to terrify me. So I just called it, in my head, I was like, I'm just going chatting. That's it. I'm just going chatting. And for me, that kind of really helped kind of calm me down a bit. Yeah, so that's what I did. I just went chatting. But still, it wasn't, it just, I guess, for me, it just felt a bit, it's not fake, you're not fake, but it's just so set up that it wasn't, I guess it's not like organic, you know, it's not an organic flow to it. So I'd been to a couple of these groups that you were kind of like invited to, and I just thought I could go in that direction, but it's just not me, it's just not for me. So I just kind of had a little think. And then what I did is I just decided to reach out to people, and I would just like email them and just say hi if I thought that I could refer onto them. And I would just say, hi, I'm Claire, you know, I do this, I've been looking at your business, I think it's great, can I refer onto you? And from that came quite a few people. Then we went out for a coffee, you know, obviously pre-COVID-19, went out for a coffee, had a chat. I did a workshop with one of them because we really complemented each other. And I found that approach for me, just saying hi and kind of ultimately being, I suppose, just a bit nice, not that other people weren't nice in that networking industry, but just that kind of organic flow, I found that really worked for me. And it didn't fit, it felt like chatting, not networking, but it was networking, and it always led to more business and growth, basically.
I love that. I love how you've renamed it to sort of trick yourself into feeling okay about networking. Yeah, that's a really, really good trick. I love that. Great. Imogen, how about you? What's your sort of experience of networking?
Yeah, I have to say, I avoid those sort of businessy networking things like the plague. It's just like Claire said, it's just not me, and I just feel terribly awkward and not know what to say, I think. But sort of pre-COVID, sort of networking, marketing, whatever you want to call it, I guess I never really consciously did it, but you unconsciously end up doing it like Claire did. So I would definitely sort of came across people, whether it was there's a local Pilates instructor, or there's a psychotherapist that worked in the same clinic as me, a chiropractor, personal trainer, and you end up, you know, if you really like what they do, you end up sending people to them, and then they end up sending people to you, and there's that kind of mutual respect. And you thought, oh, that person's really good, you know, maybe you could do with some of that, you know, maybe some movement based stuff would be really good for you. I tell you what, if you're looking for someone locally, that's the place to go. And then they would do the same for me, and that got me a lot of business in the past, definitely. You know, almost the more you give away, the more you get back, in a weird sort of way. And it felt more natural because I genuinely thought these people were good at what they did, and I genuinely, if I recommended them, it was because I genuinely thought they would be great for that client. And I think when you're recommending something like that from the heart, it's more authentic than sort of, hey, here I am, I don't know, which I couldn't do, it's my thing. So that worked really well for me, sort of cross referring, as in sort of more marketing things. When I very first started, I had a couple of clients who just, for some reason, they liked me. And they would tell all their friends. They were what I would call influencer clients, not sort of media influencer, but they were really social people. They had lots of friends, and they would tell all their friends, and I got a lot of business. And I never really said, I've never done like, oh, if you send someone my way, I'll give you a discount. Again, because I want someone to say, oh, go and see me, because they genuinely think I'm good, not because they're paying them or giving them an offer. But, you know, now and again, sporadically, I just sort of say, do you know what, thank you so much, I'll give you 15 minutes extra free. Or if there was a new treatment I wanted to practice, I say, oh, can I practice on you, as a sort of little thank you. And those clients, especially when I was starting out, were worth their weight in gold, because again, it's that personal recommendation, isn't it, that says it all. And the other thing that I did pre-COVID, which is kind of a bit selfish because I genuinely enjoy it, I would go to a lot of events. So I'm a runner. I go to a lot of running events, but I'd also do marshalling, and I did a lot of massaging at running events, and got sort of in with a few clubs. And they would always be really grateful because I would do it free or for a donation to charity. But secretly, I was having a great time just chatting and meeting. Runners love talking about themselves running. So we just have a great time talking about running. But, you know, then they would remember, maybe not then, maybe there's nothing they needed doing then, but maybe next time they felt a bit tired or had a big race coming up, they said, oh, there was that girl, and she was a runner too. And then they would book in with me that way. And yeah, so that really worked for me, because that was my niche at that point.
Yeah, finding sort of common ground with your clients, I think, is actually quite powerful.
Yeah,
sort of, you know,
and again, because
more
it
of
comes
an
from the
expert.
heart.
Yeah,
you're genuine. Like I love getting runners in, because we're massaging, we're just talking about running. I mean, I feel like I should be paying them. And it's genuine. You're not like putting it on or doing the schmooze. You're genuinely passionate about that thing, and I think that really always comes across.
great. And I love the sort of, the more you give and the more you sort of get in return. And I think that is so true. You know, if you help people, they do want to help you in return, and if it's genuine, even more so. So yeah, I think that's a really sort of powerful concept to keep in mind. Tamar, how about you? What's your networking journey looked like before COVID?
Pre-COVID, I believe that charity events, that's a perfect event to get a lot of clients. Chair massage corporate jobs, that's another one. My experience with the chair massage jobs and the charity events, I think about 2 years ago, there was an event happening in my area. I went there. The lady, I approached the organizer of the event, told her, listen, I can do chair massage in the park. It was an event in the park, and basically I'll do it for free. When I went there, I had, of course, something for free, massage for free. That's basically everyone's dream. And out of this event, I got a very good amount of clients, which are local, because I'm doing home visits. So basically, it was, for me, it was great. Corporate jobs as well. It's going to a company, working on 4 people in 1 hour. That's great. Chatting, assessing people. It's not like networking as it is, as just going people and trying to sell myself. No, actually, I'm showing them what I can do. But the extra thing that I can do during those events, basically, to offer people crazy discounts, let's say 30 or 40% discount for the first booking, and everyone goes for the discount. And once we start talking about massage, I scan their body with my eyes. I start telling them about stuff that they are suffering from, whether they know it or not. They confirm it, and basically that's how they know what I can do. And with the discount, basically they don't miss it. And yeah, a lot of people go for the discount. So out of every 10 people who goes for a discount, I get one regular. Few of those events, happy days.
Yeah, awesome. I love sort of showing what you can do as well, because I think that's a massive difference between talking about what you do and, you know, actually doing a demonstration or someone actually feeling it. So being able to have the opportunity to, yeah, have a little taster, little try before you buy, and then having a sweetener to sort of cinch the deal, a nice little discount. That's that's a great way to get clients.
I think most of the therapists, to be honest, because we massage is a passion for us and we do it from the heart, so it's very hard for us to sell it. Something in our mind, probably something is triggered in our mind, thinking that we are undervaluing ourselves if we're talking about what we can do. However, we can show it straight away. So yeah, to be honest, I don't bother explaining what I can do. I skip the selling part, and just instead, I think one of my very good regular clients, basically, I met them in a birthday party. It was his daughter's birthday party. She's my daughter's friend. Went there. The guy is talking to me, so explaining to me something. He's using a lot of body language. He's raising his arms. One arm went up and the other arm stopped at exactly the shoulder level. So that grabbed my attention. Just, okay, can you do that again, please? Just, can you say what you were saying now? So he's done it again. He had frozen shoulder. Just okay, and I started picking up from here, started talking with him about that, and basically I started seeing him, his wife, and his mother-in-law, 3 people in one house place for 3 hours every week. So yeah, that's just I believe the power of showing what we can do just with talking with them or just observing how they're moving. So yeah, and I do that a lot with people. Becomes annoying sometimes.
Yeah, maybe sometimes unsolicited, but occasionally gets your clients. No, that's great. Thanks, Tamer. So I just mentioned sort of a point from Anna, who couldn't be here today, but her sort of thoughts about networking was more between therapists and having like a circle of professionals that she can refer to, and it not being a sort of a weakness that you know sometimes pass clients on or recommend a different therapy, but recognizing that it's actually in the client's interest that they get the best therapy for them. So and yeah, I completely agree, you know, having a network around your local network that you know a good osteopath, you know a good chiropractor, you know a good physiotherapist, a good sports therapist, or whatever it is that sort of complements what you do, and then you get referrals in return. And I think that's just a lovely thing to have, and not putting up these sort of walls of you know, competition, but sort of, you know, seeing therapies for what they are, that they complement one another. So yeah, so thank you, Anna, for sort of giving us that point to think about.
I didn't do it for free purely because the queue would just be literally out the door, and you just wouldn't be able to stop at all. So I used to chat, you know, only little, like a couple of quid for 10 minutes or something, you know, just acupressure massage, back, neck and shoulders.
The thing that I've been doing for the past 4 weeks, which is great, is the personal trainers at the gym that I go to. That was something that was unexpected. I started with one personal trainer. So basically I started offering the personal trainers very good discounts for the sessions. And basically the personal trainers, the whole idea that the personal trainers are training other people who are exercising, who are causing themselves, of course, injuries and stuff like that. And basically for each personal trainer, you've got at least 30 clients behind them. So one of the things that is working very well is just offering them, again, just massive discounts for their sessions. No matter how many times they do it just with a reduced price. And that's, I call them strategic clients, basically. So that's one client, I'm going to fix them, and then they're gonna refer me their clients.
You're so business minded, Tamer. You have a really sort of different way of looking at things, but I think that's great. And you're right, you know, if you say, for instance, pick the instructor of a martial arts club or whatever it is, and they love it and they get benefit from your treatments, then they're very likely to let their, you know, what's the right word, students know that they could get benefit from having treatment with you as well. So that's actually, yeah, very clever. Yeah, very good. Claire, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going on with Anna's point, actually, and just that whole kind of referring thing. It, you know, I've had it before where, you know, particularly in lockdown, where I've just said to people, you know, if you need advice, email me. And I've just, you know, I've referred them on, maybe because because often I couldn't work, but, you know, I'd always just, you know, as we all do, think about the client. So if I think someone else is better for them, I will, you know, kind of do quite a lot of detail in an email. But then I always find that at some point, that person who I've referred on, maybe a year later, will come back to me for treatment, or they will send somebody else my way. So it's just kind of, you know, what everybody has said, you know, it's about the bigger picture. So it's not about it is about how can I get the clients now, but it's also about that longer game. So, you know, like I said, in a year's time, that person, and I've had it so many times that oh, do you remember me? I'm like, yes, I do. And yeah, and it, you know, I think it always comes back round again.
Awesome, thanks guys. So, oh, sorry, Chris, you're going to say something.
Oh, did you see my mic?
Did I saw you on mute? Oh.
No, yeah, just before the moment goes, I was just again referring back to Tamer's point about the charity events as well, because I used to do, obviously, I said I had loads of things I could talk about. It's hard to fit everything in, but I used to always look for like the local village hall would always do like a summer fair or a winter fair. And it'd be total random stalls of like, I don't know, complete, like, you know, you'd have a local candle maker making little candles and there'd be some local food stalls and stuff. And you could get a stall for like 20 quid, you know, and the money went to like the local charity or something. And I used to just do that and set up with the chair like Tamer. But I'd always charge, I didn't do it for free, purely because the queue would just be literally out the door and you just wouldn't be able to stop at all. So I used to chat, you know, only little, like a couple of quid for 10 minutes or something, you know, just acupressure massage, back, neck and shoulders. And you'd be busy all day. And honestly, you give a card to everyone that came, and then they'd all, because it's your local area, so it's prime clients for you. And I used to take that a bit further then and do like yoga events and stuff. And you know, like they have the big yoga, there's big ones in Manchester and there's probably in London and stuff as well, like the International Festival of Yoga and stuff. But they charge a lot more for your stall. So then it got to a point where it was like, is it worth paying the £200 to have a stall for the weekend or not? And I did it a couple of times. And to be fair, it always was, because a lot of clients always came from that. So, but these stalls, the cheap ones, the community-based ones, or the little party in the parks that your local village has and stuff, are so good for getting clients in. It's probably the best thing, I think, actually, you can probably do. Definitely.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. So now we're just going to have a quick chat about how things are looking now that, well, hopefully we're coming out of lockdown shortly, but how things have been during sort of lockdown periods or during the COVID-19 periods, and yeah, how that has affected our ability to network, maybe what's changed, and what's kind of surprised you about it. Maybe actually it's been better in some ways. So maybe we start the same way. Claire, would you like to kick us off again?
Yeah, so I just carried on saying hello to people, basically, just carried on chatting during lockdown. But I think I said it actually in the first episode that we did. The one it surprised me, actually. The one thing that I did was I kept in contact with my client base, my email clients, not my clients, but my whole email group. And I emailed them every single week. And because I had nothing else to do. Well, you know, relatively speaking. So I did that every single week, and I actually said it in my first email. So I thought, if I don't say it, I won't do it. So I kind of committed myself to that, and it was really surprising. So I put in recommendations or things that I'd been reading, or tips about mindfulness and stretches, and how, you know, if you woke up and your jaw was tense, here's a little video massage. And so I was giving quite a lot, I suppose. And actually, the feedback that I got from that, not always immediately, but you know, I got so once everyone could book in again, everyone was in straight away, because I guess I'd kept that contact with them weekly. And so many people said thank you. You know, I had so many nice emails saying thank you. At, like, you know, at some points when I was like losing the plot homeschooling, your email would ping up. And so that was really surprising, actually, to me, that so many people really appreciated it. So yeah, that was a great thing. And then, like I said, business wise, I just kept chatting to people, and, you know, on Instagram or groups, and just saying hello. And I did some, you know, workshops with people and workshops with clients as well, free stuff, and just kind of, I guess, kept my face out there.
Oh, that's really nice. That's so great that, you know, you had all that appreciation come back as well, because sometimes we, you know, don't know how things are being received, especially mailing list stuff. So
exactly.
that's really nice.
Sure how many people are going to read it, but yes, that was good.
Awesome. And Chris, how about you? What did lockdown networking sort of comprise of for you?
Quite similar to Claire, actually. So I sent out I didn't do it weekly, mainly because I just felt like I didn't know if people wanted. I mean, I'm sure they'd have loved to have got it weekly, but I just did like probably every 2 to 3 weeks. I did a mail out again with stretches, with videos, you know, just to keep people knowing that I'm still here, you know, and hopefully it would help in some way. Also, my little dog's very famous with my clients. They all love my little dog Lola, so I used to put a picture of her up, like, because I'd had to, like, during lockdown, try and cut her hair myself and stuff, you know. It always looked a bit dodgy, so I'd put pictures of updates of what Lola was up to as well, you know, just nice things, to keep things I would normally talk about with my clients before a treatment. Just to keep things like that going nicely. I also did, because I teach mindfulness as well, so I did a Facebook Live mindfulness session once a week, at the same time every week, and that really grew. And I had a lot of I've got a lot of friends that have like Facebook pages for like areas, and they used to share it live from their page, so it became quite a thing, actually. And it was same time every week. And loads of people were tuning into it. So again, it was just a way of keeping my presence there, that you know, although the world has stopped, you know, we're not earning that much at the minute, I was still there. And like you say, it means that you're, when everything did reopen, and obviously then it closed again, but people know that you're there, and that I must book in, because, you know, but you know, the corporate side of it, I tried to do a couple of Zoom like networking events. I did one, but then someone got really naughty with me on there, because apparently I was encroaching into their domain or something. And they apparently said that they do this all the time, and they got my number from the organizer. I was going into it. Someone said to me, "Do you want to join this?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And so I put on there what I do. And I got a text from someone saying, "Hi, this is such and such from the networking thing. I've just seen what points you're going to be discussing today, and some of it encroaches onto what I do. So I would like you not to speak about." And then she put points of like what I want allowed to speak about. And I was a bit reading it, like, and I was like, so I just honestly, like, maybe it was probably a bit of a knee-jerk reaction, but I basically just replied and said, "Sorry, don't want to encroach on your space." I says, you know, enjoy it. I'll leave you to it. And I just didn't bother. And I thought, that's the kind of thing that's the exact opposite of what we're doing now. You know, you know, it was clearly seen as a competition rather than a networking event, which is, you know, I'm not being funny. There was that many people on that call. She couldn't have treated all of them people herself, even if they all wanted, you know, the same thing that we both might have done. So So yeah, so I sodded that off after that. I thought, you know what, I can't be bothered with that Zoom networking stuff if that's what some people are going to be like on then. I'm sure it's not everyone, and I know that, but it kind of tainted that a bit for me then. So I just got back to taking pictures of my dog instead and uploading them on.
Yeah, that's a very ballsy response, I have to say. I haven't heard of that happening before, but I know a lot of networking groups do have a sort of, they only allow one person per, field. But I've never heard of them actually directly contacting you and saying, please don't talk about these points. So yeah, sorry about that.
I mean, it wasn't even a please. It was, don't do this, don't say this, don't say that. And I was a bit like, hold on a sec. You know, it kind of riled me up a little bit, really. You know, it's very often that, it's very rare, sorry, that happens. But, you know, it was just a bit like, whoa. So I just didn't do it. I just thought, I'm not bothered with that, you know. Have them all.
Fair enough. It sounds
have them
like,
all. They're yours.
Not a sort of a positive working environment anyway. So better without it.
Definitely.
Better with Lola.
Yeah, that's it. Better doing dodgy haircuts on my dog instead.
Imogen, how about you?
So lockdown. I worked a lot with Nikki Collinson Phoenix from The Profitable Couch. I had done before lockdown. She's like a business coach, and she was giving a lot of advice and help because we were all sort of freaked out. That's it, we shut our businesses down, what do we do? And she gave quite a lot of really good advice. So it's similar to Claire, you know, keep in contact with your clients. So was the key. So I did a lot of regular posts on my Facebook page, and I did the dreaded Facebook Lives. I did some little videos and sort of self-care things that people could do at home. And I even had a few guests on. So through her, I met a really lovely lady who did nutrition advice. So she came on and gave a little talk, which lots of my clients really liked. So yeah, same as Claire, really. A lot of giving things that are not your normal hands-on treatment, but add value, and keeping that contact with clients all the way through. And I would update them with what books I was reading, what CPD I was doing, what podcasts. I got really into podcasts in lockdown, what podcasts I was listening to, things that I thought might help them as well. And same as Claire, people have come back to me since, oh, that really helped me, or I really like the fact that you don't just get me on the couch and do the massage, that you got this knowledge behind that I feel I trust you. And I didn't realize that you did all that reading and you had to know all of that stuff about sort of pain science and things like that. Even though, you know, I come for the massage, it's nice to know that you know all those things. And that was really, really appreciated that. Now, suffered terribly from imposter syndrome, and whenever you just get that tiny bit of lovely feedback like that, it's sort of, for at least one day, you think, yeah, I'm okay, I can do this. So it was really lovely to hear. And it meant that, yeah, when I opened up, they were constantly checking in with my page, so they knew when I was opening up. And we kind of almost had a rebooking event where we were allowed to. So I had my book then, Lovely and Filled, straight off the mark, going back in when we were allowed to open and shut. It's just keeping that contact was really good. Yeah.
Well done, Imogen. Yeah, it sounds like you did a really good job of staying in touch with everyone, and it's paid off, and showing what you're doing, and yeah, showing how professional you are as well. That really sort of pays off when it comes to your clients, yeah, knowing your value and knowing sort of how good you are. So yeah, great work. So Tamar, how about you? How did networking look during COVID times?
Same as everyone else, just following up with the client. But to be honest, I wasn't sending emails and stretches. I was just following up with the clients, with all my client base, and especially with my regular clients, just checking on them every week, every 2 weeks, and just checking on them. How you feeling? If you have any problem, please let me know, and I'll help you. I'll manage to help you. And basically that that made them aware that it's not all about the money. It's about the connection that we have, and it paid off very well when I came back, when we started working again. When I saw them, it was like I've been seeing them regularly. I've knew everything that they went through during lockdown, and that created this caring emotion that they have in their brain, that, oh no, he knows everything that happened in the past few months. I wasn't seeing him, but he knows everything. He helped me with people who had troubles with the lymphatic system, for instance. Yeah, you need to do this, you need to walk, you need to drink water. So basically, I knew everything about the situation during lockdown. And yeah, and they referred me, and even some of the clients, they asked me stuff. Their friends were suffering from certain things. I just told them, listen, let them contact me. We'll chat about it. I'll give them some advice to do. And again, I helped their friends during lockdown, and their friends became clients after we started working. Yeah, so that was my experience in lockdown.
Thanks, Tamer. Yeah, and I think for me it's kind of similar. I started with quite a lot of Facebook live videos, doing like tutorials for people to massage one another at home, so sort of massage for beginners, and that was really lovely. That was just on a donations basis, and that was just enough to sort of tick over with, but also just mainly, yeah, stay connected with people. I think that was the main thing. Also, like, different Facebook groups popped up over lockdown as well, and sort of my local Facebook groups as well. That was quite handy, just to, like, yeah, stay present, remind people that you're there. What else did I do? Oh, Zoom networking. Did anyone do Zoom networking? No. Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah, it's so I'm with just a local women's network group, and it's very casual networking. It's not sort of competitive like a lot of them. It's actually just quite nice, and we would ordinarily sit around having tea and biscuits, but it was just nice to, you know, have a sort of a community. And actually I preferred being on Zoom, because you didn't have to stand up in front of a room and say your 30-second intro. It was yeah, I found it much easier. I could have my pajama bottoms on.
Yeah, same. I actually belong to a networking group, but really casual. We're a group of about 20 of us, and we carried that through. When I actually joined them in lockdown, I approached one of them and said, hey, you haven't got someone that does pregnancy massage? And so yeah, so I'd kind of joined them during that time, and but it was great. It was really good, because we just chatted about, you know, obviously the state of what was going on, and just really supportive.
Yeah, lovely. Imogen, were you going to say something then? Sorry, I saw you were unmuted.
No, I think I just forgot to mute myself again after I spoke.
No worries. Yeah, great. Well, thank you everyone so much for sharing your thoughts. Did anyone want to sort of wrap up with anything else they wanted to mention about sort of networking?
I was just thinking about what Imogen said about that word trust, and I think that's the thing that kind of comes out from all of this in terms of lockdown. Like what everybody has said, that connecting with people, that networking actually brings so much trust within your clients. Like what Imogen said, they go, oh, actually, I didn't know you had to do this and this and this. And it just shows all the knowledge we have. And then they just trust us more, which brings us more clients in the end.
Yeah, definitely. And oh, what was I going to say? Oh no, you know, when a thought just completely escapes your mind.
Yeah, always.
I was just about to say it and then it disappeared. Never mind.
It is that integrity that you can network without networking. You can, by doing those small things, showing people you care, showing people the behind the scenes of what goes into what happens in your treatment room that they may not realize, by being, you know, open to refer it. You know what, in this case, I think you would benefit from somebody else or from this as well. Things that aren't like the hard sell. People like, oh, they can really see that you genuinely care about what's best for them, not necessarily what's selfishly best for you. And I think that's a lovely I hate the word soft anything, but it's like soft networking, soft marketing, rather than that really corporate sell, no matter what. And I think in our business, in our line of business, that is really important. You know, I have worked for companies that have been very hard sell at the expense of clients, and it never pays off long term. And I just think that whatever everyone has said today, all their little ways of doing it, it's been lovely.
Yeah, beautifully put, Imogen, thank you. So guys, thank you all so much for joining us today. We'll wrap up now. So we will talk again next time. I'm not sure about what yet, but yeah, if listeners, if you have any subjects you'd like us to discuss, then please put them in the comments below, and we will do that. So thank you, panel, for joining us. It's been great chatting to you all. If you'd like to be alerted to when the next episode goes live, just hit the subscribe button or sign up to the newsletter in the description below. And we will see you next time.